Now wait. Death is high there. Come on.
Sorry, but you left me with no choice.
Disappointed.
Huh? Thought I heard something.
There? Do your worst.
The last of them. What was your decision?
What was that? I'm on fire! Time to stop. Victory. Is someone there?
Now ain't this a surprise?
No choice. I'm proud of what we've managed to accomplish.
Come on.
It's the last of them. Hey, look, a cave. Wonder what's inside. I've never seen anything quite like that.
If you are here to finish me, then do it. Don't just stand there gaping. Liar! Mr. Merrin do not trust one so green. That is true. Do you know it? That is a very old mage, I know. You speak true. Which must mean you are a college mage, and my eyes have deceived me once again. Correct. We had interrogated witnesses in Winterhold. Like those at the college, they are very sensitive to mages, and these mages were 3. A child overheard them talking in private. It was but a single word, but it spoke volumes. The word was winking. The tavern owner there was, as the master likes to say, careless. They often are. He pointed me in the direction of a room with a rather curious tenant. He never left his quarters, but of guests he had 5 in as many nights. He could not risk entering the room. A cloaking spell is but a justice trick to mages who can detect the essence of life. It is by the luck of the twin moons that I found a friend in an Argonian named Gulam E, whose swift hands found the pockets of his visitors. That is the fault of my own hubris. Gulam E charged a stiff price, but true to his word, what he possessed was worth every septim. The notes he stole contained 5 prospective locations where the mages planned to conduct their separate research. As per Master Marin's instructions, I was to return to her with this information. I was about to do so when I saw the mage descend from his room. He was a Dunmer man, with a wisp of thick hair, eyes as hot as the suns of elsewhere, and wings of crimson war paint gliding down his face. In his presence, this Khajiit did not move, could not move, yet all his fur stood on end. Perhaps it is the result of being Khajiit, but I followed, and he noticed, and so he led me here. It is only by virtue of Master Merlin's teaching that I managed to hold on to the document. I brought many sets of clothes in order to fashion a story. When I met the Dunmer at the inn, I was dressed as a farmer. When I shadowed him here, I came dressed as a thief. The mage assumed the first was a disguise, and the second my true form. Were I not a Khajiit, it is possible he would see past this disguise to the truth. However, like most illusions, the spell works best on those who wish to believe. No, I am afraid this cat has exhausted all of its lives. However, if you would be so kind, perhaps you would be willing to listen to a dying Khajiit's final request. When I was but a beggar, there was a Khajiit female who provided me with alms. She was a poor farmer, but wealthy with kindness. Such was her kindness that she considered my pride. While others tossed their septums with disdain, she traded their alms for petty magic tricks. I still remember how her ears perked up ever so softly whenever I would conjure an orb of light in my palm. It was during one of these tricks that Master Merlin recognized my talents. Finally, I thought, this Khajiit will earn some real respect. No one was more proud of me than the farmer. Yet in the months that followed, I changed. Suddenly it was I who could not associate with her. You would not be so kind if I were not dying, I presume. She was much the same. She could have been angry with me, but instead she granted my wish. Many times I would pass her on the street and say nothing. My eyes told her all she needed to know and nothing she wanted to hear. No, that is not necessary. You see, on some nights you could stare at the twin moons sitting in the heavens like a pair of mismatched eyes. She told this foolish beggar that if one Khajiit prayed to Mesa and another prayed to Secunda, they could communicate through the stars. Her moon was Secunda, and mine Mesa. So my final request is this. The next time you look at the night sky and see the moons in flight, tell her I'm sorry, and I never had a better friend, or a kinder one. Your words warm my heart. This Khajiit thanks you dearly, but we are not done yet. There is still the business of the nodes, yes? Master Merlin once said that the greatest illusions require no spell. I'd once resented the fact that people assumed I was a simple thief. My skills were such that I had earned an apprenticeship under a celebrated mage, yet still people clutched their coin purses in my presence. When I addressed my concerns to Master Meranin, she called me a furry fool. That I was, on both counts. She made me realize that the perception of me was nested. Make them clutch their purse, she said, instead of their shield. Thank you, friend. With that, this cat can rest easy. Tell Olivia not to blame herself. Her teachings did not fail me. They are what gave this poor beggar a reason to live, and honor in death.